Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. Got the T-Rex snap going on, a little tight in here. I'm gonna have some coffee with you right now. We're gonna talk about gold and silver. We're gonna talk about a conversation I just had with my broker, and she's seeing some interesting things. She's seeing panic, and I want to explain this because I actually explained this to her about 6 months ago. That the panic would set in September, and people would get freaked out. Right? There's a lot of YouTubers out there talking about things about supply collapsing in gold and silver, physical gold and silver, and all this stuff, and it's really scaring some people. Right? Another thing I'm going to talk about today is physical gold and silver. This is my opinion, not financial advice, investing advice, obviously, but how I view gold and silver, like, gold and silver eagles as compared to just bullion. All right, because it can be confiscated. I think there's a lot of fear mongering out there, and I think it's not based on anything. All right, it's even though we saw, and gold was never confiscated in 33, it was purchased back. So we're going to talk about that. All right. So first off, people are panicking because you are seeing it happen. I called it as actually talking to Johnny Bravo a while back, and he's like, the charts say that silver can go down more. And I said, I get that, the paper price, but the problem is when you're talking physical, premiums are going to explode because value buyers jive in, and it sucks up. It shows the truth, the proof that there is so little physical silver and gold available for investing. And that's what's happening, right? So premiums are exploding, and because everybody's diving in and buying up all the supply, so these suppliers are going, hey, we're having a hard time sourcing it, so we've got to offer higher buyback prices and then get it to you. Well, the problem is also shipping delays are lengthening. And so she said people are freaking out. She goes, it's funny when you order something on Amazon and you order it and they go, oh, this has been delayed by 2 weeks. People go, okay, no problem, click it, I'll get it eventually. They trust Amazon, but for some reason, when you're dealing with huge brokerage accounts, companies that have been doing buying and selling precious metals for decades, they're not in the business of losing your money, or they would go out of business. Something's there, something's different, right? Well, it's because there's emotion tied to it because it's money, right? You're actually taking money and buying money, real money, and you once you get it, you start to understand how precious it is. Well, this is not the case with people that buy large amounts. I was talking to her and she said, it's crazy. People that spend, 50,000, 100,000, even $1 million orders, they don't even they don't even blink an eye. They go, "Oh, it's delayed. Yeah, no problem. It'll get here." Because they're used to it. But the people that spend, less, and maybe they're brand new to this industry, they freak out. And the facts are the gold's coming, but the problem is, or the silver's coming, but it's been delayed because it takes so long in the chain, the supply chain, to either mint the coin and send it to you, or literally go find it, source it, and get it. That's why these companies hedge this and they buy future contracts to have that all set up and ready to go. And then when it gets in, they send it to you. Well, there's a lot of also fear mongering that's going on based on the 19, uh, oh gosh, was it FDR? Uh, the executive order that was written that made the owning of gold, certain gold coins, illegal, right? And I want to explain something first off, because they said they confiscated their gold. They didn't. They passed a law, all right? And for anybody that thinks they're really super smart and all this stuff, everybody took the income tax hook, line, and sinker back in 1913, and you took the Patriot Act hook, line, and sinker. And I'm telling you right now, the reason why I know people took it is because they weren't out in the streets protesting it. That's it. All right. They're also taking things like what happened in 2020, and you can't talk about that now. Hook, line, and sinker. People are being shut up. They're being silenced. That's why I started another channel, Real Estate Ninja. Go check it out because it's a backup channel. Just hit subscribe there, because the more you know, the more angry you get, right? And so there's a lot of fear mongering. The facts are the government had gold pegged at what? I want to say 25 bucks off the top of my head, guys. I'm just literally going from memory here. And they bought it all back. They gave you a time to buy it all back, just like what's going on in Europe right now. In England, they said, hey, all those paper notes, paper currency notes, you have to turn them in. As of October 1st, they're worthless. And they warned people about that a year ago. And what happened last week? People tried to get into their bank like they didn't believe what's going on. And they're going, oh crap, this is going to be worthless. Now it's too late. Worthless. Done. There's a new type of note out there, some polypropylene crap. And it is crap. It is total crap because it's a fiat currency, right? It's pegged to nothing. It's tied to nothing. Well, back in, in what, 33, when that executive order was written, they said, look, you have a certain amount of time. We're going to buy it back. at the going rate. And then they robbed you because they valued gold months and months after, or ways after. To guys, remind me in the comment section how much they went up to. But yeah, you lost, right? Well, they figured at that time, because everybody had gold and silver. Every single person had gold and silver of some amount, because why? It was the coinage out then. That's what it was out there. And they figured only about 10% of the people were honest, and they turned it in. So they lost. They lost on appreciation, right? Everybody else, they kept that money. And trust me, there was still, underground markets for all that kind of stuff. But they never took it from you. Why? Because if they actually straight up took it from you, there'd be protests, probably a civil war at that point. And what's going on right now is similar to that, right? But the thing is I've always purchased, just me, not a financial advice, the cheapest possible, because I wanted to get the most amount available, right? Now I've since changed up the way I do things, and I vault things because I'm in a different financial position, as I get older in my life, and moving around and all that kind of stuff is just not practical for me to store personally. But that's how I've always bought. And the thing is, I'm seeing people that are fear mongers out there that are going, if you don't buy numismatics, it's going to get taken. I'm like, you show me where the heck that's out there. I don't buy that personally. And then people that I'm like, if they pulled another 1933, then more than likely, hey, anything could happen in this world, right? But if a government came out and said, we're just taking all your gold and silver, there'd probably be some sort of riot. But then again, here's the thing: since only less than 1% of the population own it, I don't think they're even going to try and take it at all anyway. Because back then everybody owned it, and they tried to get a bunch. They got about 10% of the nation's gold and silver. But now, less than 1% own it. Guess who own it? The wealthy people. People in Congress. Billionaires. Those people own it. Yeah, you may think you're not a billionaire right now, or you're not a multimillionaire, or even a millionaire, right? The fact is, you are part of a percentage of people. You're up there with central banks. There's not that much out there. So is the juice worth the squeeze? That's the question you have to ask yourself. Do you think the government's going to sit there and go, yeah, this is totally worth it? I mean, last time everybody had it and only 10% turned it in, and now only less than 1% own it. So, and out of those 1%, most of them are us. So let's just do this. No, I don't think so. And so for everybody out there that's fear mongering on this stuff, I just don't think it's there, to be honest with you. Now, could I be wrong? 100%. I'm just a dude with a bro hawk. I mean, honestly, I'm drinking McDonald's coffee. I ain't that rich. Or am I? Point being is this: don't take advice from me, but you have to weigh all the options. And you have to think like these guys. Think like the tyrannical idiots out there that want to just take everything over. Is the juice worth the squeeze? Is it worth that much? Putting your political power at risk to take a little bit? Or do you go after crypto? Or do you go after real estate through taxes? Do you tax people through straight up inflation by just printing money, keeping a bunch for yourself, sprinkling it a little bit over the peasants and causing everything to go up in value, and then you buy all their assets for pennies on the dollar? Honestly, I think that's where it's at. So, guys, do me a favor. If you agree with this, share the video, because people need to realize this. It's just common sense logic. You're part of an asset class that so few people, few people are even a part of or even know anything about. All right. Hope this sets your mind at ease, because I'm going to be honest with you. I have a feeling in the next couple of years, the people that own gold and silver are about to go from success to success. They're going to conquer more and more and more. And the reason why is because the elite of the world own it. And so you're just going to be running on their coattails, but I have a feeling we're going to bounce right over them. All right, guys, that being said, I thank you so much for watching the Economic Ninja.